All right, guys. It is another day. It's day 40. And, it is 40 is a big one. 40 days, 40 consecutive videos. Far more than Granted, I lift every day, but far more than 40 lifts, right? Because I started lifting a few months before I started the videos. And it's a big day. Huge lift, big deadlift today. Really getting up there weight-wise for me. Deadlifting, my body weight today, around my body weight, 215, probably a bit more than my body weight. And it's been brutal, man. If or lady, if you're having, depending on how your week is, I'm sure you know what it's like when you just have one of those weeks where every day is harder than the day before. And there's no really good reason. I couldn't tell you. I'm sure if I lined a bunch of things in a row, you could go, oh, it's that and it's that. But realistically, everything is fine. I'm just struggling to do basic things, and I couldn't tell you why. Everything I'm doing is inadequate. I'm just not. I don't know what I'm running on fuel-wise right now. I don't know. It's fumes. It's shame. The shame of not going to the gym got me to the gym today. And I haven't missed a single day in months, and I don't miss days, and I don't intend to. But today was one of those days, man, and you'll see it kind of reflected in my lifts where, every lift is like the first set is like solid, second set is like a bit better, third set it's like, okay, this guy wants to get out of there. He wants to get out of there. I'm trying not to curse as much. I don't know. But, it's just been brutal, and I couldn't tell you why. And sometimes you have weeks like that, you have days like that, and of course I've established before, I think days like this are the most important to push through, but it doesn't feel good, while you're doing it. Maybe you'll get a burst of energy like when you're done with your run or your lift, and you'll go, I feel good now. I still don't feel good, and I couldn't tell you why. Anyway, it's a big day. It's day 40. We're still at it. The 40 videos, 40 consecutive videos. It's a bit much, right? And I'm trying to learn every day. I'm trying to give myself breathing space to improve these things, and it's hard. It's hard to feel like I even have time, right? These things take me a while to do, even when they're like not good. It's more than you think. Even the ones where I'm just one-shotting and then uploading it, there's more going into it than you'd imagine. But I'm not complaining. It's just type of stuff that's on my head today. Just even waking up, I was like, what am I doing? Why? just a tough one. Just a tough one. It doesn't matter. That's enough. I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry, guys. But let's get into it. You have days like this, and that's fine. You have days like this, and you fight, right? I mean, what else can you do? What else can you do but fight? That's all you get in this life. Okay, drop into this. Look at that. There we go. Now, look, are today's shots particularly better than usual? I'm going to say no. I mean, this one's not too bad, but I had to move the camera quite a bit so they all don't look this kind of well articulated in terms of the angle of the lift. So we're at 215, and that's, next week I will be doing 2 plates, right? Is my math right on that? Yes. Yeah. So next week I'll be doing 2 plates. I'm excited for it. It's going to feel easier to load the bar. Deadlifts are one of those things where sometimes the reason I don't want to do them is because I literally just don't feel like bothering with the bar. It's annoying. Also, the space to do it is annoying. And there's another thing for today. The gym was busy. I got there a little late, and it's just the animals that go to this gym. Not the cool kind of animals. I want big, giant men yelling and telling me what to do. That would be fine. If someone came up to me frequently to bother me about my form, I'd actually be fine with it. I'm talking about 11 kids with the exact same haircut, wearing the exact same outfit, white shirt, gray sweatpants, saying the exact same things, and just loudly taking up space while not lifting weights. That's what bothers me at a gym. I know I'm being an old man right now. I'm sorry, guys. It's one of those. Part of me would like to just kind of start today's video and just start screaming. So I felt good about all of these, just to get that out of the way. I tried to put all of the frustrations out of my mind for the deadlifts because I don't want to hurt myself, because I absolutely have hurt myself deadlifting before and will do it again. So solid 3 right there. Tried to switch, trying to remember what side was I grabbed. I couldn't begin to tell you how many times in the middle of a lift I forget how many reps I'm doing and forget what set I'm on. It happens almost every single time I do a lift, and that's probably not a good sign, but it is what it is. So my breathing is a little funky. I keep going when do I suck in? When do I go? Even though I do know. It's just sometimes you have so many cues in your mind, they all just kind of fall apart. And I often do better when they're out. The reason this shot, by the way, looks cleaner light-wise is because the ISO shifted. The ISO came off automatic. Came off a solid 300, and this dropped down to 50. So maybe I should keep it like this. But this also kind of makes the gym look a little sketchy too. I don't know, but this is cleaner, right? Without the bright light kind of moiring the entire screen. Talking about the cinematography of my lift here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, they were all solid. They all felt normal. Like, I didn't feel too weird after any of them. This one's rough. I'm sorry about this one, guys. I mean, this is brutal. Yeah, I mean, we're back in the hookah lounge. We're back in the Roman baths. We're back under the submarine. This is a brutal look. Those seem clean to me. Do they seem clean to you? Viewer, sound off in the comments. What do they look like? I feel like they look all right. Wow, this one's... I didn't even know this one was this bad. Well, you know, you see the bar path up. How about that? This is terrible. But I am not leaning forward. Maybe I'm humping a little too hard at the top. It seems to be a habit that I just cannot break for some reason. A good day, though, for that. Okay, so these were solid as well. I've got, like, no complaints about these. I took the advice of another, like, really cool viewer that left, like, a great comment on, like, clenching my butt and trying not to let the bar path go too far behind my head. I tried to do both. I probably mess up quite a bit here still, but the clenching my ass was, like... I mean, that made these a lot easier in the beginning, and it certainly made me feel like I was arching my back way less. I was relying on that arch way less, and it just felt better. I felt more rigid and in a natural way. So the clench was like, it dominated this lift. Unfortunately, I'm in such a terrible headspace during this lift that I end up just throwing the weight above my head as hard as I can, as many times as I can, and not thinking about it anyway, but I was clenching the whole time. These felt good. I went through these at 65 pounds, and, you know, it's better than the last time. The last set, the last 3-4 reps were very hard, and I think I even hit 9 reps instead of 10, but I'm going to do these maybe again, or maybe even go up to 5, even though I didn't finish out, just because how off of a day it is, how poorly slept I am, how poor my mind is working today. I'm operating at below 50%. But, you know, sometimes you got to do a below 50% lift. Sometimes it's just what you have to do. Glad I left this in. All right. This is the last set. Overhead press. I feel okay, but I honestly was surprised at how strong I was at the gym today. It's considering everything. I was not in the zone. Again, I don't have a headphone now. I'm not listening to any music because a car ran over my goddamn headphones. So it's like, it's the world was against me today in my mind. You know, not in reality. So I'm just glad I got through it, you know? Sometimes it's just going to feel that way. It's just going to feel like the world's against you, and you just got to realize it's all in your head, and you got to make it through the day. You got to set some sort of... Yeah, that's way too far behind my back. So that's, again, I did the same issue, but you got to figure it out your own way. You got to do something. You know, I couldn't lay on the couch today. My wife would have cut my head off, first of all. Too many things to do. All right, these I got to change. I got to stop doing these curls. I got to add something. I got to do a bit. I want to do a bit more accessories. I'm not sure what to add. This is really terrible, huh? The light. I should probably literally cut this out of the video. Sorry, guys. Did 3 sets of 10. These feel okay. Of course, I start swinging at the end of each set because I'm weak. But I still feel funny doing curls. I would like to start doing something that I feel more in my muscles, that I get a bigger pump from. I often feel kind of nothing when I lift. You know, that's not good, right? I don't know. I'm getting stronger, right? So what can I really be too concerned about? These accessories, though, I would love to tinker with them more. I would love to maybe even add some. Even on a day like today where, like I said, I'm feeling like I can't do anything. You know, I still feel at the gym on a normal day. I really could do more in terms of accessories, in terms of, like, other than just those big lifts. I've got it in me, you know? So I'd like to do something, because these kind of, they again, I just kind of feel weird doing these. I feel like I could get more out of this part of the time of the lift, you know, just from an analytical standpoint. Incredible work, Bren. Incredible work. Yeah, I'm infuriating. I'm sorry. I'm infuriated today. I'm angry at the world, and I'm angry at myself. That's how I feel today. I took a cue card, and I wrote down, you know, I took an index card and I wrote down the things I had to do today. Bare minimum. You know, I got it somewhere. I got it right here. And I just wrote down, you know, you got to do this, that, in this order. Do it now. Don't think anymore. Do those things. And that's what I've been doing. That's how I get through days like this. The rare time that they happen. They don't happen often. They don't happen often. Sorry about that, guys. They don't happen often. But on the rare days where I feel like this, what is going on? I just left this whole thing in. Great. So on the rare days I feel like this, that's how I handle it. I like to do that. I take one of these index card, and I write down everything I have to get done. Okay, we're just blasting through this, huh? So I did my bike, 15 minutes, easy peasy. And then this is yesterday's run that I actually recorded but then had to delete. Yesterday's run, easy, nothing crazy, Like I'm like 2 minutes running, 1 minute walking, 2 minutes running, 1 minute walking, until you hit half an hour or 20 minutes or something like that. And that's it. That's the moving my body portion of this experience of today's work and yesterday's, I suppose. I briefly mentioned this 2 seconds ago. Hold on, sorry, I'm gonna keep looking at my own face if I don't. I hope it's all right. This is a very conversational one. I know it's not. I'm not cutting out a lot of the chaff, and it's just the way today has to be. I mentioned briefly that I use an index card on days like this where I'm kind of at a loss and I'm a little overwhelmed. And even on today where honestly I don't even have that much to do today, but even the basic thing today is just getting to me. And I really am normally not like this. So it's just, I just need to take a breath. I just need to breathe a little bit. And when you have moments like this, when you have days like this, it's all right. First of all, it's not the mark of the end. You can build habits and then suddenly not want to do them anymore. You could build hobbies and then suddenly just want to look away. You could wake up on the wrong side of the bed 7 days in a row. That can happen. Sometimes things steamroll. I don't really do like, we'll do something that makes you happy. Like, go get a cake or a pizza. Like the food especially is never really, I've done this for too long. I'm too aware now that food actually makes me feel way worse. Maybe like 10 years ago, I would have done like, what, forget it. I'm eating this. I'm doing this. But I know too well by now that I actually get way worse when I do stuff like that. So there's nothing really. I just get all this out of the way and then I'll hang out. That's what I got for me. But on days like this, you grab an index card, little index card. So nothing. What can happen? Nothing overwhelming. There's nothing overwhelming that can take place on something this size, right? You take it, you write down what you have to get done in the order you're going to do it, and then you immediately start doing it. And you don't think anymore. Thoughts have to go away. Negotiating has to go away. Arguing has to go away. You just move. That's how I handle days like today. They're just gonna happen. It's a part of life. You could be literally living your dream life in your dream scenario with infinite money and all the time in the world, and you're still just gonna have weeks like this. It's just the way it goes. And not everything needs to be psychoanalyzed. Not everything needs to be like broken down into little atomic parts where you go, is it because of this and that affected that and this and that? I'm not the Batman of my day. I don't need to break it all down and comprehend it. It's just a day. You need to just breathe it out, So that's today. That's day 40, and this week I felt like I underperformed a little bit every single day. So, it's going to happen. And, I hopefully it doesn't happen often. I underperformed in every way I feel this week, from the lifts to the videos, to my writing, to my daily life, to my work, my day job. And it's just, it is what it is, I'm sure I said it, a million times. I'm sure I repeated myself a lot this time. I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to see you tomorrow. It's going to be a better day. I'm going to swallow the way I feel, and I'm also going to, deal with the way I feel. And I'm going to come back tomorrow bigger and brighter, Tomorrow is a stream. If you're still hanging out, you're still watching this video, you're still watching me sort of, drown here. I am streaming tomorrow at 7 p.m. I hope you'll come by. We're going to chill. We're just going to hang out. And tomorrow's video, I think my plan is actually to do a very early video, very brief, very quick, where I just kind of talk, maybe go for a walk, and then kind of pitch the stream for later on. I don't know if that's going to matter, but that's probably what I'll do, just to also ease the stress of doing a video and the stream. But we're going to hang out. We'll probably hang out, talk for a few hours, and then I'll play a game and chill for a few hours. That's what we did last week, and I thought it worked out kind of well. So why not repeat that, right? But either way, come by. And thank you again for watching. It's day 40, 40 days, 40 videos, losing 80 pounds, It's one day at a time. The process continues. Thanks, guys and gals.